Welcome to the boating adventure. Well, a very good day to you. It is Saturday the 2nd of November 2024 and I've come over to the boat again this weekend to carry on doing all this DIY stuff. I was quite surprised when I came to the boat this morning and looked in how well the varnish that I put on last time I was here, how well it has taken. This is the last part that I did before I left earlier on in the week, Monday it was, and it's all dried out now, and that's quite good. It all matches, and I think the front of the boat here, this bit here, is looking pretty cool now. I'm going to apply a second coat of the varnish to all of it now so that it dries uniform, and then I have purchased some blue gloss on the way down today to fill in the bits there that are already painted blue. They need scraping down, cleaning up and redoing. I've been very busy this week collecting together one or two things that I need to add to this boat just to decorate it up a bit. You can see down there there are two vent holes. They've got vents on the other side. I think that looks a bit messy, so I have purchased a new vent which will cover the whole of that. So I need to cut out a bigger hole for it, and then it will go on both sides, and that will give a lot more ventilation and it'll look a lot neater. So that's something I have to fit, so I need to do a bit of a measuring up and some jigsawing to get that done. I'm going to replace all these knobs because they're a little bit sort of damaged and so on, and I've bought some of these which will go in place of them. I think they look a whole lot nicer and a bit neater, so they're going to go on there, both sides of the door and on the cupboard door. The paint that I'm going to use for the blue is Oxford blue, which is what is on it now. This is Oxford blue, so it shouldn't take a lot of covering up really. Just need to clean it up and then repaint it, and it's an exterior paint, so it should be fairly robust. I had to buy yet another tub of this paint and varnish stripper so that I can do all the varnish underneath the seats, get that all stripped down. So I've got both sides of that to do, and obviously there's a few things that will need to come off in order for me to do that, some labels and so on, and this side could be tricky all this wiring, but I do intend to tidy all this wiring up. When I first purchased the Swamp Duck, on this console there were a couple of instruments there. I think one was a fuel gauge, and I think the other one was something, I think it was a thermometer or something like that. Anyway, neither of them worked, so I took them out, and we've just had a picture of what should be there for all this time, and they've now faded, and they really not looking very good at all. So I've searched high and low, and I have found some replacement instruments to go in there. So first of all, I've got a thermometer, and it's also got it tests the humidity, so it's a bit of a barometer really, so that's going to fit in there. And then I purchased this very nice little clock face which just fits in. It's exactly the right size. So that will go in there. So that gives me 2 new instruments to play around with. I think the clock will be useful. So I need to undo all this and get behind it so that I can fix these in place. When I was cleaning all that old varnish off the boat, down on the side here underneath the controls, tucked away right down the bottom, I came across this original manufacturer's label. It's difficult to read because it's been varnished on the top and it's got some scrapes on it, so you can't read all of it. So I had to do a little bit of investigative work and some research, and I'd take a picture and blow it up and look at it under a microscope to see the bits that are missing. And it actually says manufactured by Reliance Marine Services, and then in brackets Boat Limited, London Road, Salisbury. So these were the manufacturers. Railcraft took over Reliance Marine Services, and it became the Railcraft company. So I can't really put that back, it's a bit too damaged. So I had an idea. So I've had a plaque made, and it's done in brass. And so it says Railcraft 19, manufactured in 1973 by Reliance Marine Services, brackets Boat Limited, London Road, Salisbury. I've had to take this off so many times over the last few years for one thing and another. So once again, I've got plenty to do this weekend. Today the weather isn't so good, it's a bit cloudy. Tomorrow the forecast is a lot better, so if I do take the boat out, I'll take it out tomorrow, find a quiet spot and carry on with these renovations. But before I do any of that, I need a cup of tea.
Sink into the music. Every note is a sweet sensation. Taste the sunshine. Let's
Okay, so it's been a bit of a struggle doing this, but I've now finished it. I found that there was a faulty fuse that went up to the windscreen wiper, which why it was a little bit intermittent at times. It was just a very ill-fitting fuse. So I've changed that, and the whole thing's all working. So on the dash now we've got the main controls here for the lights. So we've got the fog lights, side lights, that's for the radio, basically it's the USB ports. That's for the galley lights, and that's for the water pump, and that's for the galley lights, and this is for the dashboard light, and then this is for the light on top of the boat, navigation light. That one is now spare. That's obviously a USB port, and that is the horn, which is working. There we go. And so we now have a clock, a quartz clock, and we've got a little barometer here, which gives us the temperature and the humidity. And I've now installed the little plaque on the side here. I thought that was probably the best place to put it. I was going to put it on the door, but when the door's open you can't see it, so I thought no, I'll put it here, and it's there all the time. So Rollcraft 19, manufactured in 1973 by Reliance Marine Services Boats Limited, London Road, Salisbury. It's official. I think that's quite a nice touch. I need to get some covers for some holes on the door. There's one small one there that goes all the way through. There's the keyhole, which is no longer in use, and then there's these 1, 2, 3, and they're quite large. So I have started to put one or two things back now. This is all done here, and I might put another coat of varnish on this door, because that's not fantastic. But other than that, I've done with that. Now I've got some blue paint, which I'm just gonna pick out these bits here to spruce them up a bit. But I've got new handles on, and I've filled all the holes in, and I've put this vent at the bottom. So basically had to saw out a new opening for it, so that goes right the way through, and there's one exactly the same at the other side, so that gives us really good ventilation into the cabin. So it's been an interesting weekend on the boat so far. I've done lots of little fiddly jobs, like putting in all these instruments and sorting that out, and checking all the wiring, and all these little jobs that take an infinite amount of time. Unimaginable really. You'd think it'd be quite easy, but I think working on a boat, you're in a confined space, and it's a lot more difficult than doing it at home when you've got acres of room. So I'm going to be coming back later on and carry on with this. I've still got some stripping to do underneath the seats. I'm not going to attempt to do that now. I thought I'd have a tidy up first, and then start doing that later on. Something I have purchased and used this weekend is a tin of fresh air. I had a few problems last time I took the boat out. We're finding that this engine must be quite sensitive, so as soon as it gets a bit of weed wrapped around it, or a bit of mud, it sounds the alarm, and you just can't continue using the engine until you've sorted it out. And when we had this problem a few weeks ago, and I rang LR Harris, they said try pumping some air through the telltale, because if there's something that's attached itself to the thermostat, that could be causing the problem. So I had a bike pump and I was able to pump a bit of air through. Whether that actually cleared it or not, I don't know, but it did work after that, but that might have been fluke. So I thought I need a source of air really, rather than standing there with a bike pump. So I had a bright idea to buy an aerosol of air. So basically, you know, it comes with a little plastic tube which fits on the end, and that fits exactly into the telltale. So I just did a couple of squirts of that, and that was enough to actually send the air right through the engine, and you could see it bubbling up in the water. So if there was anything in there, hopefully putting some pressurized air through it will have done the trick. So I've got a couple of cans of that, and I'm just going to keep them tucked away on the boat, and hopefully I never need them. Whilst I'm not at the boat, I've been busy collecting things together that I need to put onto the deck to spruce it all up a bit. One of the main things is some new cushions for the bench seats either side of the boat, and I bought these. Bought two of them. They've got a really good solid foam inside them, and the covers of these are fully waterproof, but also the great thing is that they zip off. So if we do need to wash them down, then it makes it a lot easier. I can just bring these home. I don't need to bring the whole seat with me, which I've had to do in the past, just to get it all clean. It just so happens these are exactly the right size that I needed. So I think this has worked out an awful lot cheaper than having to have some made to measure cushions made for the boat. So I got these from Amazon, and they were made for bench seats, garden seats, and they were about £20 each. So not too much money really. So I'm quite pleased with those. And then I want to tidy up those wires, the bank of wires I've got, all those plugs. they look a mess, and they're not 100% safe really, especially when we haven't got the canopy up, and if it happened to pour with rain all of a sudden, they're exposed to the elements. So with that in mind, I bought some of these electric points that have got a cover on, and they just unclip. That's it, and they just lift up like that, so you can get your plugs in, two on each one, and I bought two of these sockets, and that just clips down, and you can even lock the plugs in if you want to. There's a hole there to put a little padlock on if you so desire. But I think two of those side by side, they're going to look a lot neater than what I've got at the moment, and they're a lot safer. So if it does rain, nothing's going to go onto the plug sockets themselves. And then just for a bit of comfort for me really, and to save an awful lot of washing, I've bought some inners for the sleeping bag that I use, so I can just get the sheets washed and don't have to keep washing the whole sleeping bag, which is it's quite, the one I'm using at the moment, with it being winter time, is quite a thick mummy bag, and it takes a lot of drying. So I can save a little bit of the washing by using one of these. I'm going to go back down to the boat this coming weekend and carry on doing some more scraping and some more varnishing, doing the little bits underneath the seating area. Once that's done, then I can get these new seat covers on, and it's going to look a whole lot better.
Heartbeat sinking to the music. Every note is a sweet sensation. Taste the sunshine. These melodies fill up the night. We're living in a sugar rush symphony. Taste the sunshine. Taste the sunshine.
Well, a very good morning to you. It's Sunday the 10th of November 2024, and as you can see, I'm back at the Swamp Duck again. My main tasks today is to get the underside of these bench seats either side of the aisle on the deck, get those all stripped down and re-varnished, and put in the new cushions, have a sort out of the wiring and that kind of thing. I think that will do. I'm only going to stay the one night this weekend. I've been doing other things connected with the boat, of course, remaking a few things, repairing a few things which I needed to do in the workshop. So I've only left myself really today and most of tomorrow to get the jobs done that I want to do. But as always, first of all, a cup of tea. Okay, so in order to scrape this varnish away, I've got quite a few things here that I need to remove out of the way. For example, all of that can just drop out of the way, and I've got to work my way around these things. Not too bad the other side. There's just a vent really, and a few labels that can come off. So I don't know how well you can see this because it's beginning to get dark, but I have got a light on it. But I'm just installing these two little plug sockets with the covers. These made by a company called Katsu, and they clip together like that, and are pretty waterproof. So a very good morning to you. It's Monday the 11th of November 2024. It's a new day and the sun is shining here in the marina. Wow, brilliant. I've still got plenty of scraping to get done and some varnishing before I go home. I'm going to leave here about 3:30, so that's my target time really. Yesterday I did quite a bit of varnish removal, and I sorted out the electrics. They're not finished yet really. I've got some lot more cutting of wires. I want to really get the wires down to the bare minimum of wire that I need, so I haven't got trailing wires all over the place, and those that I can't put in a conduit I want to hide really as much as I can. So my task today really is to just get this scraping done, the varnishing done, and then I can start to put a few things back. I was up early this morning and I put a coat of the varnish remover on straight away, so that should be softening it all up, and so I can get scraping. It's not so bad underneath. That seemed to go a lot quicker. Got some bits in the corner, and I've just got a little bit on the step here to do, so that it all matches. But I need this and then I'll get going. I now have this side all cleaned up and prepped, so that's ready for a varnish. I'm just going to let it dry out a little bit, and then I can apply the varnish. Okay, it's time to call time on my activities at the boat at the moment. So I've got one of the bench seats in, painted all the edging blue, and I've re-varnished underneath with the lighter varnish. I've redone this cupboard door, and I've tidied up all of the chains and ropes at the side there. There's some new fittings. And underneath here we've got the new electricity boxes, and everything's been put back in its place.
I've been waiting for this, yeah. It's been up on my mind. Oh, it's hard to resist. Feeling like one of a kind. Oh, now the hard time's over. And for a moment, I won't look back now. Yeah, and it's moving closer. I can feel it coming. Oh, now it's my time now. Now when I look back, it's like it's another game that I'm playing now. 'Cause it's finally here, finally here, yeah, here. Oh, 'cause it's finally here, finally here, yeah. Ooh. I've been staring again, gazing at the night sky, and even though it's the same,
I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, then please consider doing so. It's a great encouragement to myself and to Steve to keep doing these videos, and for Steve to keep producing all the lovely music that he makes. And if you have enjoyed it, then please give us a like, because that helps to move the videos up the YouTube algorithm, and more people get to know about the channel. So thank you very much for all your support, and as always, do take care.